Hello, it happens to be the 26th of October 2022, and this is one of the funniest stories I've ever heard. Eco, and this is for you guys in blue. You show police are there, but the Volkswagen, no, the police were never called to do anything. Eco warriors plunge into darkness as staff at the Volkswagen plant leave them glued to the floor. Eco warriors glued themselves to the floor at a Volkswagen factory in Germany, pleaded. There's no such word as pleaded. Whoever writes these is an idiot. Pled for medical treatment because their hands were sore and moaned that they couldn't go to the toilet. The 9 activists from the campaign group Scientist Rebellion have been arrested after they broke into the Autostat, a museum and car showroom. They didn't pay their entrance fee, so they called the police. What are we going to do? They glued themselves to the floor. That's fine. So you're all under arrest, and they're demanding that the speed limits go to 62. These Volkswagens get 30 miles to the gallon. They flip a switch and they get 300. Why don't they just flip the switch? They blew up 1,500 Volkswagens in Tianjin Harbor because of that. One of the protesters, Gianluigi Gimolda, that's not a German name, sounds Italian, who said he was on a hunger strike, said they refused to our request to provide us with a bowl to urinate and defecate in. Well, if you're in a hunger strike, what are you doing pooping? I didn't eat for 18 days. I didn't poop for 15 days. So this man said his hand swelled. And when he called the medic, he could be at risk for blood clots on his hand. Well, you idiot, you put super glue all over your hand. Are you that stupid? They're all wearing white coats. They went to eBay and spent $15 a piece, except this guy. And they're all wearing some kind of a white coat saying we're eco-terrorists, we're gluing our hands to the floor. Fine. The Volkswagen Museum turned out the lights and turned off the heat. And that's when they got upset. And then the police came in with flashlights and they said, oh, they're too bright. Well, they're protesting, they're trespassing, they have an intent to do harm. Super glue could pull the lamination off the floor. That's an intent to do harm. He says, oh, my hand hurts, it swelled up. Yeah, well, a lot more is going to swell up when you're done with going to jail. We can't order our food. We must use the one provided by Volkswagen. Lights off. Random unannounced check. So Volkswagen's offered them food and water, and they said, no, we want our own food and water. So they said, screw you. They told the police and turned out the lights and the heat. My hand is super glued to the floor and swollen, and medics are warning me of increased blood clots. Doctors ascertained the possibility of life-threatening blood clots in my hand and recommended an immediate transfer to a hospital because I glued myself to the Volkswagen factory. I'm going to sue Volkswagen for the blood clots in my hand. What an idiot. Now, you cops, you just stand there and laugh because these guys are idiots. My health is, of course, paramount. I don't know who paid them. Maybe the FBI, maybe the German equivalent of the FBI. Somebody had to pay them to be this stupid. They weren't this stupid on their own. Those are expensive glasses frames. Oh, and he has a dog tag. How gauche. And a beard. The 15 brave Scientist Rebellion members, 9 glued and 6 supporting, have been occupied the Volkswagen luxury car exhibit since 2:30 this afternoon, so we left and turned out the lights. You touch anything, you're arrested. We have cameras. We're going to have speed limits of 62. It comes as Just Stop Oil wreak havoc across the UK. These people are being paid to protest by the FBI or some similar organization over there. Climate failure. White, unite against climate failure. They're idiots. They don't make a water-powered car and put it on YouTube like Dr. Brown did. He found that when you separate hydrogen and oxygen and put it back together again, you get a 10,000% increase or 10,000 times increase in energy. So by separating hydrogen and water and then recombining it, you can run your car. Now, I've seen water-powered cars. My neighbor saw a water-powered P-51 aircraft. What more can you say when you watch somebody build one? A spokesman told Express County, UK, that the organization, this is happening in Germany, okay, this is happening in Germany, Polizei, by Italians who told the UK, what does the UK have to do with any of this? We will continue as long as our government continues to be harmful and criminal. If that requires us to escalate, we will escalate. Why are these people not in some kind of a prison breaking rocks? Why is he not in a prison breaking rocks? He said he would cause massive disruption. He says, I'm a criminal and I'm going to continue to be a criminal. Are you people in Germany that stupid as we are in America? Stupid? Have you adopted our legal system, the stupid satanic legal system in Germany? You just going to let him go? Just walk out of prison? You're just going to say, well, we will obey the United States because we are their puppets and slaves. We will do what the United... Why isn't he in jail forever? He says he's going to continue to terrorize the country. Terrorists should be in jail forever. But Germany, you're being led by the United States down the primrose path of destruction. You already can't get enough light and heat, but there seems to be plenty of light in that museum. Oh boy, there's plenty of light. And it was the Volkswagen that made the 150 miles per gallon Volkswagen Polo. And now they're making 20 miles to the gallon cars because of order of the government. Don't protest against Volkswagen. They already made 150 miles to the gallon Volkswagen Polo. I've seen it. I've looked in the motor. It was very common as the Volkswagen Rabbit was in the United States for a while. Don't protest to Volkswagen. Protest to the government that they've outlawed the Polo. Because 150 miles to the gallon and 300 miles to the gallon is not efficient according to the United States. All hail their master Lucifer. But 20 miles to the gallon is efficient. You have to understand, Lucifer lies. So you're protesting against a company that made a car that got 150 miles to the gallon and not the government that banned it. Are you stupid? So anyway, as the police you stand around and escort the ambulance in, and as their hands eventually peel off the floor, after 2 or 3 days, no water, no food, no drinking, maybe they'll learn a lesson, but I don't think so. They say they're going to continue with the eco-terrorism. And so unless you're listening to the FBI and obeying your masters in the United States, German slaves, German police, you need to get up and say, we're going to put them in jail for a long time. Because they're going to continue their eco-terrorism. That's what they said. So, police, you have a choice. Let these terrorists go or obey your masters in the United States. They threw canned soup on a Van Gogh painting. Climbed the Queen Elizabeth Bridge at Dartford, facing authorities to close off the thoroughfare. They blocked the traffic. They're eco-terrorists. Why don't they do something productive? Because they're being paid to be these people. They're being paid to do this. I don't know who they're working for. It's none of my business who they're working for. But quite frankly, where do they say that? But anyway, this wonderful group needs to be in jail until their brain is twisted. Or until they can do something good like make another water-powered car so they can get whacked by the oil industry. They need to stand up like men, not little girlies gluing their hands to the floor. They sound like a group of little cowardless girls. I glued my hand to the floor in front of a Volkswagen. They made a car that got 150 miles to the gallon, but that's not good enough. We don't want to see oil anywhere. I know they made water-powered cars and the government banned them, but we're still going to protest against Volkswagen. Because we can. I know Boeing made the water-powered P-51 aircraft, but we'll protest against Boeing. These people are weird, and you police need to realize that they're twisted in the brain and need to go somewhere so they don't destroy things. God bless, and that's generally a high-security prison or a FEMA camp. Or maybe they just need a group home where they can all sit around and talk about what they're about to do. Anyway, God bless. Thank you very much. This is for you police because it's just... We call it Scientist Rebellion. We have a Scientist Rebellion. Well, I created a product that eliminated Big C in all trees, in all grass, in all mammals. And I'm not a scientist, but you glue your hand to the factory floor and you're a scientist? Let me tell you, these guys are perverted. So you do what you want. It's very interesting. We'll just see where this ends up. This is, of course, the United States stretching its wings telling the German police to obey their masters in Washington, D.C., actually in Fort McPherson. You will obey your masters in Fort McPherson. You will not arrest them. You will let them go. God bless. Thank you very much. We appreciate each and every one of you. I am the Russian accent because remember, I am half Russian, right? I don't have any Russian blood in me, but I do hold a Russian passport. So I guess that counts for something. God bless. Thank you very much. We'll see you tomorrow.